Yo, good morning. How you guys doing this fine actual morning for once? Tay Barracuda thanks for the tier 1, gifting it to
Twitch Prime.
Tanith Magus. Kamai Tachi thanks for the big primer for 2 months. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. Who was first? That's the arcade with Oi. All right. Not bad. Nadav Bloosh. Thanks for the first time chat. And you can call me Rem. The big primer for 7 months. Thanks a lot. Holy shit. I just finished a VOD doing some morning tank assembly, and now I'm look, it's happening. We got a Warhammer preview online. Heywoah Doobie. Yeah, finally. Something other than 40k. Well, I mean, there's going to be 30k, which is basically 40k with extra steps, right? But, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what it is. Let me know if I forgot anyone. Oh, SGRK, thanks for the double grips. 10 tier 1 subs. Huge, dude. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. And CG Augusta, thanks for the 10. God damn, 20 subs? It was worth getting up this early. We did it. Thanks for the SG Arcade and CG Augusta. 10 gifters each? Shit. Juanosa, thanks for the first time chat as well. Some quality EU time stream. Yeah, late night stream for Holy Proxy. Early morning stream for me. Proper EU stream for EU people. Prince of Wales, thanks for the big primer, by the way. Big morning. Painting your first ogres? Nice. Hey, ogres are pretty fun. I do declare. I think they're pretty good. We got 7 minutes or so. We'll just have to see. It's Andrew Yell's Cruel Drew, is it? Where? Where? Were they one of the ones to get the... Oh yeah, bingo? Somebody made a bingo card on Discord. Don't think I didn't notice. I barely did. But I did notice, alright? Somebody made a bingo card. I loaded it up in Photoshop at this moment. Also, Tay Barracuda, thanks for the 5. Tier 1s. Damn, look at all these. Hey, if anyone randomly tuned in, you have a pretty decent shot at getting a free sub. Thanks for all the generosity. I appreciate it. You couldn't hear the sound because your volume was at a single %. C. Keef. I see you've discovered your problem. That's your problem right there. 1,000 hours in Photoshop? No. I just opened this in Photoshop. Somebody else made this on Discord. Rob, I think. Rob74, I believe.
Twitch Prime
is the one. What do we got? New Cities Cog Fort Steam Tank, Dark Mechanicus, Beastmen Underworlds Warband, unironic complaining in the Warhammer Twitch chat about no 40k. I don't think that's... I wonder if there might just be 40k. Maybe it's a bit, right? It might be a bit. Cruelboys Warcry Warband. That's 2 rumor engines. Old World Orc model, Skaven Dongbringers model. The leaked Warcry starter with the EW Vampire Warband and the Ferrata terrain. Okay. Another Incarnate. Hopefully not. Not looking forward to that, but they will. They will do it. Sylvaneth Warcry. Keep an eye on Warhammer community for more information. I mean, they always say that, don't they, right? Loads is the free square. IDK Dongbringers. Wood Elf Old model. Butt Rock. A Black Library character model, a joke about no Primaris lieutenants this show. They've already done that on their social media page, but they might do it live. Square base is uttered. Dawnbringers book 2 with Big Pig on cover. A tank. Some deck of Underworlds cards. Do people buy those? I'm sure that Underworlds players do. Ugly old Warhammer Fantasy Battle models shown that will be sold again. That's the entire point of the old world, yes, to sell ugly old models again. And maybe be in that space as well. No FEC shown. Oh no, that's an actual... Alright, well, I've now looked at all these one time. Somebody else made this, by the way, Jarrett Kruger. Thanks for the big prime for 17 months. Big, and good comment. True. Did I thank Tay Barracuda for the 5 gifters? I probably did. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. We lied, it's only 40k. That'd be a good bit. I don't know if I would be mad. I would be disappointed, maybe. But large hog. Yeah, exactly. Winter's Night likes Underworlds. You know, there are people who play Underworlds and they tell me it's a good game. I don't think it's not. I just don't have any interest in it, that's all. You'd be mad at Saturday morning. True, I did wake up like 5 hours before I normally would. GW's love of joking about their own stupidity is never ending. I mean, oh wait, never. It's not never ending. I misread you. It's never endearing. I see. Is it ever endearing? Have I been endeared once or twice?
Twitch Prime.
Hello and welcome
Hello.
to Not Warhammer 40,000 Preview Online 2023.
How's this? Should I turn it up?
I am Eddie,
Sound check.
joined by
Let me
the
know.
Alex, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Are you excited to talk about almost all things Warhammer?
Yes, everything except.
Up?
Yep, we've had a very busy time for
How's that?
Warhammer 40,000 in the last few months, as you might have been aware.
Right.
Dude,
So
flannel
what we're doing with this
unleashed.
preview is we're basically going to look at everything else that's going on. So
Hey, it's
Warhammer is
Alex.
a huge, great hobby with loads of exciting games and different settings.
I remember Alex
Warhammer
from the last
40,000 has had
preview.
a lot of attention recently, so we're going to take the lens and point it at some other things. We're going to look at the Mortal Realms. Got some really exciting stuff coming for fans of Age of Sigmar and a game set in that, in that
Fans of
world.
Age of
We're
Sigmar.
going to look at the Age of Darkness. We got a little bit of Old World as well to throw into.
What's the Age of Darkness?
Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
Is that a Vampire the
If you're
Masquerade
online,
thing?
guys, thanks ever so much for tuning in. Had a little bit of technical trouble.
Where
at
does the
start
big
there,
pig
going
sit in
live
the
a couple
centerpiece
minutes
tier
late.
list?
Don't
A
worry,
at
we're
least,
live
I
now.
would
We've
say.
got all the things
At least
lined
A
up.
tier.
Do let us know
Without
where
thinking
you're
about it too
watching
much.
from. If you're tuning in from somewhere around the world, it's always nice to see what
flannel
you guys
is
are
out.
choosing to Warhammer at the moment. And also, let us know what hobby you're up to at the moment while you're watching.
Hobby.
Alex, what's your hobby table look like at the moment?
Ooh, it's
Age of
got
Darkness
a
is the
very
other name
large
for Horus
40K
Heresy, which is the
box.
other
We're not
name
allowed
for
to talk- we're not
30k.
allowed to
Okay.
talk about that.
So I'm
Hey, as long as they
some soul
come up
blades.
with a million
Very
different
nice.
names for the same thing.
Vampires. What about yourself?
Very cool. So I've also been painting some of the game that we shall not name, but I have also been playing quite a lot of Warhammer Age of
Coffee
Sigmar
Addict,
recently.
thanks for the
Playing a lot
follow.
of cruelboys.
Appreciate
and
it.
Some new models into those recently.
Very cool.
So I've been really enjoying playing Age of Sigmar and playing Oryx.
Oh, it's
maybe
the
some more
starter
Oryx.
box of
Maybe,
30k.
who knows,
Okay,
who
thanks,
knows?
an edge
Just have a look
lord.
at where everyone's tuning in for at the moment. We got loads of people. I can't even follow the
Japan.
comments.
Are you weird for hating the
Australia.
big pigs sidecars? No, they're a little
Scotland.
goofy, but they're
Couple of
supposed to
people in
be.
Nottingham, of course.
I normally
of course.
judge stuff based on
Yeah,
what it
thanks
was
for tuning-
trying to
thanks
do
ever
and
so
if
much
it
for tuning in,
succeeded.
guys. Thanks for tuning in.
And then I say whether I like that.
Alex, what are you
Ran.
excited about seeing today? Have you got any things your IPs or worlds or anything you're
Ooh,
particularly
yes.
hoping for or looking forward
Well,
to?
obviously, because we all know we're seeing Underworlds,
Loads.
Warcry, Age of Sigmar, a little bit of the Old World, as you said, and a little bit of the
I'm looking forward to
Heresy.
seeing each of the categories we have advertised this as showing. Those
Yeah,
are
if
the
you
things
guys
that
are
I'm
on,
looking forward to
social
seeing.
media, and I assume you probably are because you're sitting there on
Twitch Prime.
a Twitch right now. We did
Lol,
put
it's
out a
Dalen.
little
Thanks for
bit
the
of
big
a
primer. I
teaser
appreciate it
on
for 10
our,
months.
Warhammer Facebook and our Warhammer Twitter.
Prime
about 2
loads.
hours ago.
Good,
So if you've not seen that already,
good
it might be
comment.
worth just poking your head in,
Impulse
giving it a
Gamer.
watch and seeing if you can decipher it. It's pretty subtle. I think it's pretty subtle. But you guys might be
CMFD
able to
or
work out
something.
One of the things.
Thanks
that
for the
might be on its
follow.
way, but we've got loads of really fun stuff. to show
Loads.
you. Yeah, I
Was
think
he
I'm
bitten
quite
by a
excited for,
vampire?
some Mortal Realm stuff. So I'm loving Age of Sigmar at the moment. It's a really great game.
Eddie,
I like him at Oryx, but I'm also quite excited about Cities of Sigmar.
we might not be seeing Eddie out during the
That's a really
daytime
big thing for the Mortal
anymore.
Realms, to finally see the mortals, the humans.
Indeed, we
So-
saw some fantastic stuff.
Eddie, what's going on?
We did.
What's
Couple
wrong?
of little
Are you
reveals have
okay?
Come out on Warcom since then.
Deadheads.
Just having a look at the chat.
First time
Oh,
chat
Skaven.
loads,
Some people
you'll
have
fit
mentioned
right in
Skaven.
here.
Might see a little bit of. Might have some Skaven.
I think we might have.
He was
given
bitten
away
by a
little bit
goth
of
girl.
There's been some teasers. Quite a lot of people excited about seeing
Which
some old world
prime?
stuff.
Yeah.
That's exciting. There are some
Mix and
silhouettes as
HS,
well
thanks for
up
the
at
big
moment
prime.
on
I
the Warhammer
appreciate it for
community
6
website
months.
of some of the things that you might see, so you might be able to decipher those as well if you.
Eddie,
you know
wake
your
up.
Warhammer
You've
well.
been asleep for 20 years. You think you're a
Before we get
Warhammer
stuck in,
presenter, but
we're
it's
also joined by
it's just a dream.
Raph, who's
You have to
putting
come
the
back
content
to
together, so
us.
Thank you, Raph, for making all that work. And we've got Notley
Please, Eddie.
moderating, keeping all you guys in line on the Twitch there as well. So big thanks to both of those guys for helping this run nice and smoothly. Right, I think that's
The numbers, Eddie.
pleasantries and introductions aside.
Indeed.
We can probably dive in to our very first
It's not
preview.
fair,
So,
it should have been
Raf,
me.
take us away.
Oh, we're just jumping in. It is Sigmar Lunchbox. Damn, real horses? You've seen these. Guy looks sick. It's the box. And leading the charge. Alia? God damn.
So this
Are
is the
you
three
kidding? What a
cities, the cities of
sick
Sigmar,
centerpiece.
and some glorious new miniatures on the way.
Indeed.
So there is a new launch
Glorious.
box to tell you about today, and also an incredible new character. So let's have a look at the launch box first. Some of the models that are in this. we've
Now
seen
they
before,
put out a
and some new
Manticore
things
right
in
when
there
you're
as well to talk
finished
about.
converting
But
your
much like
own.
we've seen with some of the other really significant major
that
army
centerpiece
releases
looked
for
so
Warhammer,
good.
Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40,000.
The cream of the crop.
The first place you'll be able to get hold of some of these new miniatures and the new battle tome is going to is in this box
Chaos
set.
Lord on
Alex, what can you
Manticore
tell us about
in
this guy?
shambles.
So,
He
as you
already
said,
was
we've seen
in
some of these before.
shambles.
We've seen the Cavaliers.
The
at
shambles
top.
have become
We've seen the steel helms
shards
down
or
there,
something,
and
I
we
don't know,
have
pebbles.
The Marshal and the Relic on
Traffic
was,
bond,
I believe,
maybe.
revealed on Warcom.
I believe so, yeah. But a lot of models. in
Pea
this.
gravel.
Indeed, and there is a few that we haven't seen before. So you'll notice there in the middle. Oh no! So we've
Jumped
got
already.
Oop, oop. Huh?
That's all right.
Huh?
Move on.
Can we?
So yes, so this is the Free Guild Marshal and the Relic
Okay,
Convoy.
he was going to
You
talk
don't
about a
get to
different
be,
guy,
you
but
know,
let's talk
top
about this
dog
guy.
In the Free Guilds by kind of sitting behind a desk.
Yeah,
So these
all this
guys are
looks
the best
cool.
of
I don't
the
like the head in the
They
thing.
get there by merit because you don't go out into the mortal realms and survive to become
His hair looks
Marshal
like
unless you
the
are
Grand
an
Canyon.
exceptional warrior and leader.
But aside from
Really,
that,
really lovely, flexible kit as well. So obviously, this is a character that you can
a little,
make your own.
Yeah.
You can kind of decide the
just a
storyline for
touch
them.
disappointed that
You
it's
can
all
choose if they're gonna have
humans.
Pistols, have they got a helmet? Have they got a great sword, shield, great hammer? So lots and lots of options in this kit, which is nice to see.
That's it, and they've got the little relic envoy there. So the relic envoys are basically some
Vorak stream is full of people
Come
seething.
along, as you
Commander
can see there with a
Costas,
little
first.
head
Who's
in
that?
the box.
Second.
Now that tends
Why?
to be one of the family's ancestors that has a bit of experience, and they've been a series of death rites has been performed on them, so they can communicate via the squire. And basically
AOS keeps
advise
winning
the
and they
marshal.
can't cope with it.
So if you're in
It's
an
not a
area
competition.
No, you can always ask Grandad. Or Grandad
If you
can
like
berate
your
you for
game,
doing things
then
wrong.
if your
Fair
game
enough.
is
Well,
good,
we have seen this model
cool.
before this, so let's move on
Yeah.
and see what else we've got. So this model is brand new.
Yes.
The Alchemite War Forger.
This guy's kind of cool.
So I think you can gain some things just by kind of
Kinda
having a
like,
look at the miniature itself. It's obviously
an
a
ogre
magical in some
cosplayer,
nations,
shall
a
we
master
say.
of metal. What is this model? What's going on with
Yes.
the
What
character?
is this
there's a little
model?
mantra, where there is metal, there is power. These specialist wizards, they're basically seconded to the free guilds.
Where there is
to
metal,
use their magic
there is
to strengthen the
power.
metal in Sigmar's armies. So, they'll make sure your armor is a little
Alchemite
bit more
War
resistant, your
Forger. I
weapons
have
can be
made a
little bit
cube
better,
for you,
because the mortal
sire.
realms are full of
Roll it
orcs
well.
and Stormcast and all things that are
This
bigger
is what
and
it's
probably
like
stronger than
to
you.
add
So
a
you need
primal
all the help
casting
you can
die
get.
to your
He's
spell,
got a
the
nice
next
little runic
GHB.
crucible there to help him influence the battlefield. But it's not just sort of helping your own guys that he does. He can turn your enemy's armor to lead so they drop to the floor, or he can make it incredibly brittle so their weapons shatter or melt. He's a very versatile battlefield wizard.
It's got quite a nice kind of battered look to the
Yeah,
miniature as well, which
that
kind of
Nice, thick
leather apron. To
leather
protect him.
looks
apron
like a
too. I
huge,
like the
heavy
apron.
Forger's apron, doesn't
He's
it?
a wizard.
And even like the helmet on him there is quite kind of reminiscent of your kind of Stormcast.
Other
armor, but
wizards,
much
do you
more
even
kind of
lift?
Subtly put together. It's like hammered and
Yeah.
smashed.
I kind of like
together.
this guy.
There's
See
almost,
the building materials in it almost.
there's almost like a welder's.
It's a nice
yeah.
brat
to it.
fork.
But very cool. Like obviously a big metal cauldron there,
Mhm.
but a very
This wizard
interesting
is
take on a metal
forklift
wizard.
certified.
Effectively, yeah.
Because we've seen a lot of the Collegiate Arcanum's sort of wizards in the flowing robes.
Very
with
kind
the
of old school
staffs.
wizardy.
Yes.
This is a
Leather
little bit more
wizard
kind of
money
grounded
gang,
Mortal
yeah.
Realms wizard sort
Good
of thing.
meme.
Very cool, very cool. So, Free Guild steel helms. Now, we've seen a couple of these miniatures
We
before,
have
but
seen
this
a
is the
couple of these
full unit.
miniatures, yeah.
So, for the first time, we get to have a look at your
Who the
standard
fuck is
bearer
this guy?
musician character. We've also got another kind of relic envoy character there at the top right. What do we know about
One of these
the
things
free
is not
steel
like the
helms? Now we
others.
can see the whole unit altogether.
So these guys are the basic infantry of the cities, and so they tend to have come from, say, the common folk. And,
Basic
various
invent.
preachers and stuff have convinced them to sign up. Take
I almost
the
said basic
Malleus,
inventory.
join the
Why?
Dawnbringer Crusades,
Infantry?
etc.
Hello?
But this unit,
Nice banner.
because they are regular humans essentially, they need a little bit more to get them going. So we've got the Steel Helm Herald there on the left, and as you can imagine, walking into battle with both a trumpet and a banner.
She works
not
at the
holding your sword or
DMV.
shield, you've
My
got to
local
be
one.
the bravest, most loyal
Would
person.
definitely use a Warhammer too.
The flags have been essentially triply blessed by the cults in Barogan, as well as the Order Valoris, but they also tend to have an emblem of one of the settlements that has yet to be founded. So it's essentially
okay.
a promise that this unit will found
I owe
that
you one
settlement.
city sort of thing.
Yeah. And then we've got the battle
promise.
priest over on the right-hand side. You know, as any good priest, you know, he can rouse the troops with a great sermon.
Oh, he's a
but
priest,
he also
okay.
holds that relic there. Now,
I thought he was like a
we've
special
seen in
member of the
past that
squad or something.
The skulls of martyrs have become a bit of a diminishing
Well, okay,
resource.
priests are
Whereas
special.
a martyr has many other things. Broken swords, shields, bits of armor, pinky bones, that sort of thing. So the battle priests bring one of them, and they do
Any
have
pinky
a
bones
genuine
in chat?
effect, both on the troops and their weapons. So, you know, the faith has been proved right.
Cool. I like that guy at the top right there has got a sort of angry innkeeper vibe.
Yes.
You imagine like once they start the settlement, he's the guy, you know.
My
the
hotel's
flags
as
of
clean as an
the,
elven arse.
The new founded settlements bar.
He's put a lot of
He's just like shouting that.
in his faith, as it were, not wearing a helmet, and whilst everybody else has swords and shields.
Thumb reporting
It's a
in.
club.
All
Yeah,
right.
very cool, very cool. Yeah, lovely little unit there. So well, here we are. This is the Free Guild Cavaliers. So we're not
Yeah,
going to dwell
we've
on these
seen
for too
these
long,
already,
but
they're
because we
sick.
have seen this unit before.
Yo, this
but this
dude's
is your
sick.
heavy
Nice
cavalry, effectively,
banner.
for the Free Guild, for the
Just
cities
says
of
Sigmar on it, stamped.
One
These are
thing worth
sick.
noting about this kit, it's a very, very flexible kit. You can put it together in loads and loads of different ways. So
Loads.
weapons, heads, horses, iconography is all very, very flexible. So you can get lots of this.
Where
unit
was
and
the
come out with,
centerpiece Cities of Sigmar?
Very different kit.
Bingo
every time,
card?
effectively.
That's it.
Who made this
Very
thing?
cool. Okay. And then
It wasn't me,
inside
so I
the
can't
Cities
complain.
of Sigmar launch box, that will also be the first chance to get hold of the new Cities of Sigmar
Oh,
battle
lunchbox?
tome. The
Nice.
cover there you can see it's going to be a special edition cover, so it doesn't have art on it. It's got kind of heraldry of some of the cities.
Cool.
Some of the cities heraldry on there. You
Oh, and you
might
can get
recognise
these
from the current
these
Cities of
reference
Sigmar,
cards
some
that
of it's
will be
new.
FAQ'd in 2
A little
weeks.
peek at some of the rules there on the page. If you kind of squint, you might be able to make out some things.
Enhance.
But a very rich
9-inch missile
very
weapon.
packed
Don't
card.
like
It's
that.
got
4
lots
attacks,
of
3s and
units,
3s, -1.
representing the kind of full
Maybe
spectrum
negative
of the
2-1.
Cities of Sigmar. Obviously covering all of the units in the box, but also
4
the
3 3 1
wider
2
army, which
3
includes all
4
sorts of things,
3 2
some of which
3.
we've yet to see.
Wait,
some
2
of it
2
taken from
probably.
the existing Age of Sigmar range. One of the things
Only
that
as a heroic
is
action.
this new model as well, which is I think one of the
Oh,
best
shit.
models of the whole.
All right, here we
This is
go.
a phenomenal monster. Alex, what do we know about it?
So
Scorpion
this is Talia
tail?
Vedra, Lioness of the Parch, given that nickname by her troops. So to a degree, people kind of refer to her as a bit of a queen of Hammerhall, but in reality, she's the first marshal of Hammerhall Aksha, leader of the
first
armies, and again, she's
marshal.
achieved her position through merit, starting off as a mercenary, working her way up. A little stint in some elements of politics involving
A little
four rather
stint.
corrupt
Who hasn't done a
individuals
little
getting killed,
stint in
and then
their
straight
day?
out back to the battlefield.
This
So
is
she
sick.
comes with a couple of options, a couple of weapons, as well as a manticore there, Infernodyne.
Infernodyne is a very cool name. for a manticore.
Infernodyne.
I think when we started out this year, everyone sort of suspected that the lion might be the best model of the year, but I don't think that they everyone realised which lion it was going to be. I think this is an absolutely beautiful kit. This is going to be an awesome treat for painters. If you're
reticulated
sometimes there's a model
scorpion
which is
tail.
so nice,
3
that you
different
just
weapon
go,
options
doesn't
at
matter
least.
what army that's in. I want
You can
that
go
army
helmet,
because that
no
army is just
helmet.
glorious. And I think this is one of those
Great
absolute
lion
knockout
face.
centerpiece kits that you can just build a whole collection around. It's gonna
Okay,
look
Chaos Lord on
incredible.
Manticore has
She's really good in the game as well. So
has
she
a
looks
new thing
for
that
a
you just
gaming
buy
piece.
to make
She's
one,
probably
huh?
the most competent mortal human in the realms. I can't think of many others that would kind of come
The
close,
most
really.
And even
competent
if they did
mortal
come close, they'd
human.
probably be eaten.
Probably eaten, yeah.
Noted. All
The
right.
manticore she's riding is very cool. We've
Writing
seen
that one in the
manticores
notes.
before. We've seen kind of like chaos incarnations. This is a much more kind of noble beast. So you've
She's
got
really good in the
kind
game.
of more proud, noble,
sure she is.
I suppose realistic-looking lion
Yes.
rather than a kind of chaotic beast. Does still have a massive scorpion tail on it, so it's definitely still a fantastical creature. Very noble, kind of eagle pinions coming out the side. Lots of kind of barding and stuff on it as well, so it fits.
You know, you're
nice
watching
and
Age of
kind of
Sigmar
weird,
content
Mortal
when
Realms monster.
a
It still fits
lion
really
with
nicely.
wings
It's
that has a
your
mount,
painted,
and they're like,
the
it's
palette
still
colour
a
scheme,
it's still a
match it.
fantastic creature
Obviously,
because it
most
has a
creatures are just
scorpion
gonna be
tail.
wearing
What about the
colours of
fucking
Hammer,
wings on a
the
lion?
general of that force. Should we talk a bit about the options in the kit, Alex?
But all right,
Yeah,
What's
that's
going on
fine.
with the weapons?
Everybody's
So she
having
obviously
fun
comes
here.
with a
Hams
helmeted
fan
and
thinks it's a tier 1 for the big preview
but
stream
she
for
also
21
has
months.
essentially 3 weapons.
Thanks a lot.
So she's got the sword Parch Tongue, which is an artifact from basically the Flame Wizards, and it can burn anything except for her. It's cool to her touch. She's got the axe Justice.
It can burn anything except for her.
Brutar.
Psycho.
And then she's got the Hammer of Zeal. So this is
Thanks for the
formerly
tier
a
1
weapon
for
called
3 months in
Warmaker
advance.
from
Wow,
the
you think I'm
corrupt
going to be
treasurer,
entertaining for 3 more
Venalius.
months? I like the confidence.
Whilst it
I
does
appreciate it.
inspire a lot of people because it's got a bit of a holy element to it, she does have a
Tail
habit
may
of
be
trying to
overkill.
lose it.
Well, I mean, that's what
However,
a
it always
manticore
comes back
is
in some form or another.
as far as
boomerang.
mythical
Yes.
beasts are concerned. So
So what you might notice
I
as
think
well
it's
behind
legit.
her is some heads inside that kind of weird casket thing.
wait, is that what a
Definitely
manticore
recurring
is?
theme, isn't it? With
Am I
the
going
pieces of
crazy?
Sigmar
Hold on.
that
Yes,
they
all
have
the-
heads in a box. That they
Pretty
carry
sure
around with them.
manticores
What are these heads about, Alex?
have a
So
scorpion tail.
these again, they're martyrs' skulls.
Yeah, the tail of a
martyrs'
scorpion.
relics. And as we've seen,
I don't
with
know why I
an
was
awful lot of the
second-guessing
range,
myself there.
Yes, they carry around bits of.
Take it up
former
with ancient
martyrs.
Greece.
Fair enough. Right. Well, an incredible miniatures. We might have
Yeah, the
a
thing
little
looks
bit more
sick.
for the Mortal Realms later on in this preview.
And there,
but,
there's something for
it's
Slaves
now
to
time
Darkness players to
take a
buy
look
instead of
at
the other
31st millennium. And we'll have a
whatever
look at
wizard
our,
on
our next
Chaos
preview.
Lord on, etc. Oh shit! Hey, this could still be Cities of Sigmar. A new Steam tank. I thought we weren't getting any 40k. This is one of their big stupid robots that don't look cool. Man. British robot design, I tell you what. They just can't do it. Gen 4 Stormcast right
Which
there?
prime?
Okay. Ozalau thinks of the big primer. Rock and Stone.
So, 2 brand new Horus Heresy era plastic knights. First off, we got the Knight Acheron. What do we know
Knight
about Knight
Acheron.
Acheron?
Is that on the bingo card?
So the Acheron is essentially a terror weapon. Armed with its Acheron flame cannon and a Reaper chain fist, it's basically deadly and terrifying. The speciality
Is this Dark
basically
Mechanicus? I don't know,
extermination.
40k
And their presence
or
on the
30k.
battlefield basically means no quarter's going to be given. The pilots that essentially have to pilot this.
Why was this
because they
not
tend to do it
showcased last preview?
involuntarily,
I don't know.
basically
Maybe it just
suffer
wasn't done yet.
because when they sit in the throne mechanicum of the night, they're infused with all of the horrible things, the massacres, the slaughters that the suit has previously done. So you've
Which
either got to
prime?
do it involuntarily. as a
Mr.
kind of
Mortis
form
thinks of the big
duty,
primer. I
or
appreciate
you
it.
have to be a bit, unhinged.
Frank on the Rocks,
to
not
embrace it.
wide enough. Yeah, legs look
So
weird
obviously
too.
in game terms as well.
Knobby.
This is
It's got that
a short
umbrella
range
top.
knight, so it doesn't have the kind of long range firepower that we've
Needs
seen
more
with some of the other
gunpla.
things that
True,
they're able to have in their army.
TH912.
But the flame cannon, very, very good at just roasting
Oh,
swarms
yes.
of enemy infantry. And you've got a big
Which
giant
prime?
chainsaw there, which
Sheepies
is
thinks
quite
of the prime.
chopping through
Damn,
enemy
all these
knights and stuff
people.
like that.
Hey,
So
thanks for being
you
so
can take out
generous.
enemy armor, but you
I
have to
appreciate
get
it.
up close,
Yes.
sort of thing. Cool. So the Knight Acheron. There's another new
arms
knight
look
as
bad,
well on
legs
its
look
way,
bad.
the Knight Castigator. So
Yes.
what do we know about Knight Castigators, Alex?
So
Arm
yes,
seems
this
a bit
is
short
essentially
for
an
a
anti-infantry
sword. I'm like
variant
looking at it
of the
now.
Castigator bolt cannon and a tempest
Imagine this
blade.
swinging.
So the
Like
bolt cannon can
it looked kind of
tear through
goofy,
even
right?
heavily armored infantry even. And
Look,
then
the reason they
you
give
go
it
up close.
umbrellas and stuff,
that
for
big blade
memeing
finish it
aside, they
off.
want to give the
These guys
artists
tend
and
to
the
be
painters a
quite
chance
stoic
to put as
and
much
venerable,
freehand on the thing
pilots,
as they
to
want,
hold
right?
the
So
line against
these giant
foes that would
plates
otherwise be
are clearly so that you
too many to
can
deal with
get
would
creative
overwhelm
with your
enemies.
painting.
So both of these
But
new knights,
I think you can
on
do
their
that
way
with
in
like a
plastic.
cool looking
So
robot
these
instead.
have
That's
been
just my
available previously
contention.
in Forge World resin. Really nice kits. If you've got the Forge World resin kits, you absolutely carry on using them. But the new plastic ones have got a lot of flexibility. They'll be easier to put together. They'll be cheaper.
Yes.
There's some really nice little
He has
touches
an
in
Aether
the kit
cannon.
that you can't really tell from looking at the miniatures. One of the things that I quite liked about the Castigator is
Your
that
contention is that
chain
knights
fed,
are cool. I mean, the concept
gun
of huge
is really
robots is
flexible.
always
So
a
you can
cool
put
concept.
the cannon
Now we
in
get
any
into personal
position, so you
taste,
can
I
have a
guess,
lot
and I
of
don't like the
flexibility with that
40k
knight, but
one.
still have
Brilliant.
your kind of belt-fed
Very
chain
much.
weapon
Not a
there
big fan.
working really, really.
But I guess, I don't know,
really
maybe
like.
I'm picky about big robot design.
Lots and lots of socket joints there as well, so you can have a few of these in your army and have a few of them running or standing back or mid-slice sort of thing. So they lend themselves really well to kind of painters and converters. People who just want to
Mid-slice.
put them in a really cool pose because it's just a big, cool model. You want it to look cool.
Towers over the other knights.
They're giant
Yeah,
cyborgs,
it's
not
about a head
robots.
taller than most other knights as well. So if you've got
Oh, is there like a
knight
brain
paladin or
inside this
something,
thing?
This stands taller. Primarily designed for use in Horus Heresy games. You can use these models in Warhammer 40,000 as well, but they'll be released and kind of packaged as Horus Heresy miniatures. Very, very cool. We might have a little bit more Age of Darknessy related stuff later on.
Robot Jonks? Damn, I've
But
seen that
before
movie.
we jump into that, we're gonna
Congratulations,
jump
you are
into
old, and so am I.
Underworlds of Warhammer and see what's on the way for that.
Could it be? Oh, this looks like a warband. This doesn't look like a... Look, Skaven gets something, right? Fanatical worshippers of disease. Please, Jesus, don't be a warband. God damn. It definitely is. They look pretty cool, though. Underworlds F. Gabic Plague Binger. Disgusting appearance, and it's got like dock chicks that are like. Alright, they do look cool. They always look cool.
So, a new Warhammer Underworlds warband for Skaven clans Pestilens, the Claw Pack. What do we know about these?
So this is Skabic's
Bingo
Plague
card
Six
continues to
absolutely
miss.
Fantastic brand new models. This is the first Pestilens minis in
a
better
long
part of a
time.
decade.
Long
Yeah,
time.
this is the first Pestilence minis
As you can
in
see there,
well over
little
40
pet
years.
because everybody loves a pet. And you
All the best Warhammer Underworlds warbands have a bet.
Indeed. So the clans Pestilens, they worship the Great Horned Rat in the form of the Great Corruptor. And what they seek to do is basically unlock the 13
Corruptor.
Great Plagues,
These
which
guys
are
look pretty
scattered
cool.
by the Great Corruptor, in order to basically bring about a kind of diseasey, sticky
Is it illegal to make Skaven that aren't
across all
Underworlds?
realms.
Apparently, yeah, it's against
And
the
they've managed
fucking
to
law.
achieve 9 of them so far, following the clues in their Liber's Pestilent.
Another
so they're
Skaven
doing pretty
warband, but
well.
no refresh. They
And
can't
Skavic has
keep
basically
getting away
followed
with
these
it. They
clues
are.
down into the Weird Hollow.
It's
So the
their
Weird Hollow
business
is the
model. Just string you
tunnels and
along.
caverns and stuff that's below the Gnarlwood, sort of infused with the same arcane energy from the Eye of Chotek. And down there you get all sorts of like weird lights.
New plague
that
monks? No.
corrupt and transform you. Or
No,
the
how about a
temperature
warband?
rapidly drop and increase, freeze and burn you. So it's not the best.
Yeah,
place to
technically it's a new
go
plague
find
priest.
things, but considering
Jace
these
fan,
are
yeah.
the same group that decided they want to steal a hair off of Kragnos, they're they're crazy enough to do it.
Fair enough. I mean, if we dwell on the miniatures for a little bit before we dive into the rules, the Warhammer Underworlds warbands are almost universally beautiful archetypes of the faction that they
yes.
represent.
That is
these
true.
Miniatures are really
Warbands
nice.
always
This is,
look
I think,
good,
The third Skaven
just about.
warband we've seen for Warhammer Underworlds, but it's the first Pestilence one. As you say, we haven't really seen much of Clan Pestilence since.
Skaven
right
don't
at
get
the
new models,
start
and
of,
Fire Slayers only get
Warhammer
foot heroes for
Age of
new
Sigmar. They haven't
models.
really been in the limelight so much, but it's
All you have
just
to do
nice
is
see
buy
some new miniatures.
17 boxes of this, and you have yourself a bunch
The
of
new
new
models are great. Like,
Skaven
the
for your
detail on
army,
some of these
right?
is really lovely. So you can see things like extended fingernails are like longer than other Skaven because they've kind of let them grow long as kind of weird, gross.
Take
rat
these two
priests.
sensor bearers,
Lots
right?
of kind of cool flowing gas effects. Coming
Buy
out of
20
the
boxes,
sensors
you
and
have
stuff
yourself
that-
two
that I
squads
don't
of
think we
20.
really had the last time
No,
we had
and the
miniatures.
the draping robes, that kind of thing. Because the original ones, the original plague monks, as it were, because obviously they were quite compact,
Yeah.
weren't they?
had to rank up, obviously.
That's it. Whereas these guys are free to flow out and let the stench waft.
You've also got lots of opportunities there for really nice kind of painting techniques.
Jesus sequel.
We've seen a lot of things like Golden.
Technically, you might even be right.
Lovely models you have for Warhammer Underworlds to kind of show off painting techniques, and I think there's some nice opportunities here with things like the.
It might be more expensive than Scryer Acolytes. If this box is more than $30,
copper oxide and iron oxide,
we would find a way to make a more expensive army than the Scryer Acolyte army. Lord Vladik thinks with a big primer. For 24 months.
Really nice little narrative touches in the mix as well. So you've got like old sewer vents, and I like the guy top right.
Skaven Warband is the same as a.
She's like, oh, that's a
Primaris
really
Lieutenant.
I'll remember that one for later. I'll bring that.
Oh, Skaven Warband is the same as a Prime sub.
Really fun, evocative, beautiful.
It looks great, but the feel's just not the same compared to the real thing. No, actually. As a matter of fact, Prime subs are good.
He's got special
I think I technically make a higher percentage on them. No, they got rid of that. Never mind. I don't.
You can stagger enemies nearby just
never underestimate Twitch's proclivity
is enough to kind of
to find a way to take a bigger piece of the pie, I guess. But it's still good. Don't worry about it.
Quite a lot of models in the warband, so he can take the hits. He can dish them out pretty well as well. And you can see as well.
Deep Fried Courage, things of the follow.
Spire condition is about corrupting territory, so that's the thing these guys are trying to do. On the
Jeff is hungry.
Effectively get models into zones of the battlefield.
One Acolyte is $20. I thought it was 15. Did it go up?
Some of the other abilities
that's it.
My math might be off then. Iacraft.
As you say, mechanic works really well for getting them all their glory tokens and stuff as well.
Any Underworlds players?
There's a little bit more about
are these rules good?
Corruptor and Befouler thing works there. So effectively, to corrupt a territory, you basically need to push some of your models into there, either Befoulers or more of your other friendly fighters. So the Befoulers effectively the ones with those plague sensors.
Do people actually play this game?
Yes. The other units are just
not a lot, but
the kind of common or garden plague monks. But it also means
I would call it
rat to kind of scoot in and do a little
I would
bit
call
of
it pretty popular for a Warhammer side game.
A little bit about how they win their games as well. So there's a lot there about making sure that you've got
like the average Warhammer side game comes out, everyone buys it. It is immediately ignored and never supported, and it slowly goes away. That's not Underworlds. They keep making stuff for Underworlds, and I'm pretty sure a decent chunk of people play it. It's just not me.
Yeah, they are tricksy, so they're still Skaven, so they're quite relatively resilient for being.
You think it's more or less liked than Warcry?
Around the edges, but they're still,
no idea.
They're relying on the numbers as much as anything, and making sure that the tricks go their way. So in a straight fight,
you have to do more to play Underworlds than Warcry, I guess, because you have to learn a whole card game as well.
It's always going to be doing something a bit cheeky. This is quite a fun card as well. This is the Voice of the Great Corruptor.
Yeah, I don't know.
So basically, if your leader dies, one of the other ones can.
There's always a couple of people playing it at your gaming club. Yeah, there you go. The cross out.
There we go. Right. Okay. Staying in the Mortal Realms for now. That was Warhammer Underworlds. We've got a little bit of something to show you from the other skirmish game set within the Mortal Realms. Something new.
Oh, true. You need. Take it away. Well, yeah, that's right. With Warcry, you need terrain. So I bet the cost of entry is just lower for Underworlds. Cruel boy, Warcry, an ape, Eggman. That dude looks sick. He's got so much stuff on him.
Yeah, so these are brand new Cruelboys warband for Warhammer Age of Sigmar Warcry.
It's a gibbon.
Really, really cool. These are.
I'm gibbon.
This is
two of them. Two monkeys.
Oryx is my choice of army currently.
Nice
for
weapon.
Age of Sigmar.
This dude
and it's exciting to see.
Just went shopping. He's coming home.
Alex, what do we know about these guys?
So the monster killers, as their name probably suggests,
no armor.
Is that they hunt monsters and kill them. However, that is not their only task.
Do they?
These guys are big on catching.
Do they hunt monsters and kill them?
Wrangle a massive beast. You send these guys out. You'll notice a lot of their weapons.
I thought this was Warcry.
Sort of injuring weapons.
Is this
So you've got the beast knob up front. He's
graphic designer Chan.
Skins. He brings the experience, tricks, traps.
Are you okay?
Mork a little bit more than Gork. And that trident, as you can see, is roped to him, so he can throw it and then kind of
Skewer the monster
reel the
really
player
in
back
sort
in.
of thing. Yeah.
Underworlds,
And
Warcry,
they work very well as
whatever.
a skirmishing unit because you've got the
Who can keep
Null
track of it?
helmets. Those are
All the side
nerfy
games are the
style,
same, am I right? I guess
characters
so.
There, and they give you a little bit of speed. Basically, the idea for them is that they scream, they shout.
You wonder if it's
they're
actually
dangerous,
Warcry. I
but
think
their
it is
main
Warcry.
trick is to
It's
be both
just
a
they put the wrong
distraction
thing on it.
and to kind of scamper up trees and steal eggs. Because you'll notice there you've
That's
got
another name for
clutch of
30k.
growth.
Good callback.
You know,
Holy
every good
proxy.
warband needs a
Is a Warcry warband for
so
Cruel
you can either
Boys?
throw a grot at the problem as bait, or as you can see there,
Alright, we did
it's
it.
holding an egg, because these guys, they're a little bit cleverer than the average orc. So instead of facing, say, some of the mightiest alpha beasts of Gur, why not?
Yeah, you know,
steal an
Mr.
egg,
Mortis brings up a
freeze
good
it,
point.
and then it's slightly easier to deal with.
I have a
So
question.
these fit in
What
with
the
things like your
fuck
breaker bosses,
do
other
gibbons
kind of
have to
monster
do
tamers within the Cruel Boys.
with
They
Cruel
go out
Boys
into
at
the
all? Why are there
wilds,
monkeys
find
here?
the eggs
It has
of
nothing to do with the
ferocious
army.
beasts and creatures, and can bring them back to kind of break in training sort of thing to be part
I
of
guess
the
it does
Cruel
now,
Boys.
right? They're
That's
just
it.
expanding
You've
it.
got the neck slicers there. They're the ones that essentially have those little bone helmets.
Aren't they
They've got a
swamp
couple of
guys? They
hides
are
from things
swamp
they've killed.
guys.
But really, as you can see, their job is to.
A
move
jungle
to
can
corral,
sometimes almost
get the
can
beast in
sometimes
place,
be
so that the
swampy.
snob can take it down. You've also got the not shown in
I
the
mean, they're
picture. you've got the
different.
Baller boys, and they were the ones from the video that seem to be calling out.
They hired the
these
cruelest monkeys.
hollow
All right, I'm
and
willing to
claws that they
think about this
dramatically,
headcanon.
basically as a combination of a distraction or to sort of deafen and disorientate.
Or like a lure sort of thing. So if you
Yeah.
can get the, you find like a swamp dragon or something, you get it to follow those guys away from its nest, send in the grots to grab the
Well, the
eggs.
thing is, they came out with the first one of these warbands
Cool,
that
very
had
cool.
like
So,
a
yeah,
little
looking forward to these.
fucking
Obviously,
animal
these will
on
also
it,
be
and
useful
everybody
for
memed
Warhammer
about
Age of
it.
Sigmar as well, so I'm quite sure.
And so now
Warhammer will
every
be
it's like a
able to
design
use both
document.
Warcry and Warhammer Age of Sigmar,
Every
so we'll
warband
check
has
that.
to include a stupid
Great,
fucking
okay,
animal.
So moving away from the
Let's
model
grind
realms,
this into
we
the
do have
ground
something
and
to
remove
show you
all
from
previous joy.
Old World. So here is a cool new model for you.
Oh, more cities of Sigmar. All right. Lift the flags high and charge to victory. Old World. It looks like a Cities of Sigmar model with Super Nintendo proportions, like the chibi guys. The fucking smoke machine. All right, go up. He's a little stumpy guy.
So a brand new battle standard for Bretonia. It's nice to see a Bretonian hero on a horse. That's kind of how you associate.
Yeah, in the
with
past,
most of the time.
They looked like
battle
that
standards,
because
of
they
course,
had
an
to look
important
like
part
that
of,
because it was the
of
best they
Warhammer.
could do at the
If you play
time.
old Warhammer Fantasy Battle and certainly
Now we're
will be
making
still
brand new
in
stuff
Warhammer, the
that
Old
looks
World
weird on
battle
purpose. I
standards
don't know. I
particularly
mean,
important to Bretonia.
I'm not interested in
Always like
Old
a
World,
given
so
your army will have a standard
I
of some
suppose
sort.
if you are and
They
you
love
like
their
this,
heraldry,
it's
and
for
nothing
you,
quite as
right?
Heraldic is the biggest flag you can possibly find.
That's it.
And then the
Alex,
horse is like a
what do we know about this guy?
So
A
to
perfect
bear
horse.
the army standard, it's an incredible honour and is usually given to a key hero, say an earl or a baron of note, or perhaps a peerless warrior,
earl.
a marshal or a warden.
You hear the way you said
Because,
Earl.
as you said, particularly for Bretonians, the battle standard was incredibly important. But even just as a hero model, they were always fantastic sort of centerpiece items.
Something's wrong with
You've
the
got
knight's
a
proportions. They're
lovely,
like
nice
chibi
open,
kind of Super
banner
Nintendo
as
looking,
well,
right?
which if you're a painter, you're
He's
able to
he's made
paint
to
in whatever palette
look
and colour you
old
want. One of the
proportionally
things
so
you're
that
able
he
to do
fits
the
in with all your
Warhammer
other
world
old
is you can
stuff,
either
right?
kind of lean into the classic style of Bretonian army.
He's
which
just
is
a little
every single
guy.
model is a pageantry and a colour scheme unto itself of whatever story you want to create with that character, or you can lean into the kind of dukedom or fiefdom that your faction hails from.
Yo, this guy has to
which
lean
is
into
what's
it to
happening
see
with
over the
this
horse's
instance
head.
where,
Jesus
the
Christ.
model is wearing the kind of black and red heraldry of its liege lord, but you've still got a little bit of space in there to kind
Is
of throw in
there
some
what is
extra
our old
flourishes
world?
and touches. So
Technically, it's an
the
orc
heraldry
model.
on the specific heraldry and the placement and the head crest and things like that will be nuanced to that specific knight and his achievements and accomplishments.
Technically, ugly old
Just
Warhammer
putting
model
there
shown
to
that will be
raise
sold
the
again, but this is a new one, so I don't think
Updates
that
to all these
counts.
Old world models are just absolutely fantastic. There's a whole fluidity of movement to them.
they're very sort of static the first time round, where they're all beautiful miniatures.
Some Norwegian dude, thanks for the
Really
tier
nice,
3.
but,
Yo, tier
nice
3?
to see them kind of
Big
posed, it's
dude.
more interesting than the kind of
31
just
months.
walking
Thanks for the
forward
huge
in
tier.
Warhammer
I
as
appreciate
well.
the
The
support.
Morningstar is very fun as well. It looks like it would make a mess of someone as it kind of charges past. He's got a spare sword as well, just in case. He's got a shield.
He's
there
got
too.
a spare sword as well.
Really nice heraldry on the helmet.
They're very
as well.
fluid. They're actually quite static.
Got a crown around that, maybe royal blood.
It's not an old model. No, it's meant to look like an old model, but it's a brand new
We
sculpt.
don't know. The horse itself is really nice as well, more detailed and kind of interestingly posed as well than maybe some of the ones we've seen.
It's like a corgi horse. Now that they zoom out,
this
it's
particular
like
model will be resin, but there will be some plastic stuff on the way as well for Britannia too. So
Fantastic.
stick around. We've got
11-year-old
plenty more
kid
awesome
knight
stuff to
on
show you
corgi
as we,
horse.
approach that particular release.
I've just realised he had his own tactical rock.
You got to. Well, you have to, haven't you?
Well,
That's
yeah.
how you know he's
Resin confirmed, by the way.
There we go. Right. So that's all.
In
That's it.
fine Forge World resin.
I'm only joking. We've got another preview for you guys. So this is this I think is probably I'm going to say the most exciting thing for today. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
This is the thing that you might have spotted some teasers on for social media in the last couple of hours. So yeah, let's.
We
take a look
might
at
have
our
seen
last
some
preview.
teasers. Okay. Gaming on a new scale. Well, not really new. It's sort of like a
So,
return
Warhammer,
to
the Horus Heresy, Legions,
the
Imperialis,
most
battle
3D
on a
printable
new scale.
Warhammer game.
This is a brand new game at an epic scale, set in the Horus Heresy era, that will be launching fairly soon with a glorious new box set. And what you can see on the screen right now is the contents of that launch box for the brand new game. This is a really, really
Fear not,
exciting
it
thing.
won't
This
be
is something
cheaper.
We haven't really done as Games Workshop for a very long time. Obviously, we've seen epic scale stuff before in the shape of Adeptus Titanicus and Aeronautica.
Yeah, true.
But what we've got now is the ability to fully recreate the grand battles, the epic scale battles of the Horus Heresy. With
You would be pumped for
entire
this if it wasn't
armies
Horus
and
Heresy
tanks and
era?
troops and
Big,
infantry,
sexy.
backed up with titans
First
and
time
aircraft and all
chatter.
sorts of stuff. So. Yeah, this is
I don't
the
know how to
box set.
feel
Alex,
about
do
this.
you want to tell us about what's going on
We've
here?
got an incredible mixture here. So
Is
so
this
essentially
cool
these
or
are
is this dumb?
Two armies that can face off, or
I don't know that I want to
you
paint
could
like
maybe
smaller
get the
men.
box yourself and combine them together, because say most
Obviously,
of the
this is
expeditionary
like
forces,
super not for me, right?
that
Because
were,
I don't care about
part of the
40k,
nascent Imperium,
and
they had a
so I even
combination
more don't care
of,
about
say,
30k,
Titans of Imperial Army,
and so I even
elements,
more
Solar
don't care about
Auxilia,
like tiny
and of the
30k.
legions themselves.
But
So there's no reason not to take all of these as one massive force.
Yeah, so what we've got in the box, you can see there's plenty of Space Marines there. They are painted up in Death Guard colours. The warriors in red and grey are Solar Auxilia.
Imagine
and you've got
AOS
some
like
Titans
this,
at the back
mass
there.
scale
The way
battle
that Legions
Sigmar.
Imperialis works
I
is
really
that you
don't like
take,
that.
Armies in
I hadn't thought of that
detachment Space
before.
Marines, so you'd put those Space Marines together into a detachment force. Maybe you
Uncle
take those Space
Belcher.
Marine tanks together. And then you can have them.
Yeah, I'm
fighting
imagining
alongside,
AOS like this, and I
troops from
hate it.
Solar Auxilia and from,
I really
Titan
don't like
legions, also
that.
From Knight households, that sort of stuff. So as you
Which
say, Alex,
is
if you
fair
want
enough
to,
because they
you can
haven't
get
done
this
that
box
for
and you
AOS,
go
right?
Space Marines on one side, Solar Auxilia on the other side, and you can fight it, or you can put it all together and form the stars.
Are these
of a
resin?
much larger,
Probably.
Legions Imperialis army, which you can then bolt onto all sorts of other stuff.
Indeed.
It won't just be this box. There are loads and loads of things on their way for Legions Imperialis, to the point where you will be able to play almost anything you can imagine that's part of the Horus Heresy. Will be getting something for Legions Imperialis at some point.
So these guys, whilst they're painted as Death Guard, they're not Legion specific. So say you wanted to play Salamanders, for instance,
Yep,
you could do.
Somebody
absolutely. So this
did
is
a
the box
switch
set
hats, I
itself.
will.
Legions Imperialis, epic battles in the Age of Darkness, also comes with the things you need to play in there as well. So you've got the
Tiny
rulebook,
battles in the
and you've
Age
got
of
those two
Darkness.
armies, and that will launch alongside a whole range of other great things that we're able to use to play the game. So let's have a look at some of these models in detail. We've really zoomed in on these. These models are very, very small. To give you a sense of the scale on these, if you have seen the Titanicus miniatures or the Aeronautica miniatures, these
They're
are in
so
the
tiny.
same scale as those. So we're going to start referring to this as epic scale.
Okay.
They are not quite the same size as the epic models that you might remember from.
They're
20,
not
30
quite
years
the same
ago,
size as the
which
other
tended
epic
to have a
models that you
fairly
guys made a long time
consistent
ago.
size.
Yes.
They are sized exactly in proportion to the Titans and aircraft that you've already seen, in ratio to their size in the Horus Heresy game. So they stand pretty much bob on about 1/4 the height of their Horus Heresy Age of Darkness equivalents.
Sure.
So the scale is worth noting, but it does mean that you can have enormous great.
What's the actual scale, though? Like, what to what?
Umbric,
Umbric, thanks for the tier 1.
Close up some
For 16 months, literal baker's year.
And you get a sense there about how detailed some of these miniatures are. They are.
Yes.
You can work out what the models are, which is probably more than you could say maybe for some of the.
You can work out what the models are. I agree. That's just true.
Single eye lenses to single rivets.
Imagine painting a stonehorn the size of a glutton. I don't like that. Yeah.
The chainsaws on the bolt guns.
Not for me.
You can see.
Each individual tooth.
The bases as well are a little bit thinner than you get for other war games.
They're just little guys.
Warhammer, and that's because basically they just look better when they're
just
out
normal
on the
men.
battlefield. So really, really cool. They got some assault marines there as well. You can see all the different weaponry and stuff posed and looking very cool. So I think if you're looking at these now, obviously these are quite zoomed in. I would recommend, if you are interested in Legions Imperialis,
very easy to transport though.
See these kind of pop up in stores and things. Really get hold of them and have a really close look because they are a wonder.
Kind of depends on how big the army is, right?
Crazy.
That's it. I did think maybe we should.
It could be that instead of like one Space Marine on this base, you get 5 of them, but then the army is the same size.
Legionaries there, so these ones have plasma weapons. I don't know who did the highlighting on those.
Do you have to assemble them? Surely they're. Surely you don't, right?
So lots of different unit choices within this box. You got some Terminators in there too, Cataphracti Terminators.
You got your brown paper bag, your little lunchbox. Toss them in.
And then you get some Dreadnoughts. So the Dreadnoughts.
These Dreadnoughts look so dumb.
Imperialis, stand a little bit shorter than a Space Marine in Warhammer.
But then again, the normal-sized ones I don't think look cool either.
Quite imposing.
But then again, I'm not a 30k or a 40k player, so I'm not the target audience.
And all sorts of stuff. Your Contemptor Dreadnoughts feel quite sort of small, but still very, very cool, fun models, and even some options in there as well. So you've got las cannons versus.
Was there new Skaven stuff shown? Technically, yes, because it was a warband, but not real Skaven stuff. No.
You got loads of really cool different choices. So they got some Sakaran battle tanks. The tanks are.
It was an Underworlds warband of Plague Monks.
Yes, because they've got the same amount of detail.
Technically new Skaven stuff, but not like a replacement for your squad that was printed in 1999 that you've been wanting.
Smaller, so it'll be easier.
If you've painted up any of the Aeronautica miniatures or the Titanicus miniatures, you'll get a sense of the scale
just
of
little tiny tanks,
like the rivets and the sizes on some of these, the level of detail, and they're the same kind of.
The bucket style dreads are when you have to pour the marine into it. Good one.
I guess as you see on those. These ones are
it's in the factory. They just line them up.
Whatever colours you want. Some other little options there on the Predators. You've even got little guys poking their heads out the top of the tanks to kind of represent maybe commanders.
Or the stuff from 93. Hey, there's only one model from 93.
And then the
day Magic the Gathering was invented.
Auxilia. So,
sorry,
Auxilia, for those
Alpha
of you
release.
Super familiar with the Horus Heresy. These are the human troops, the Auxilia that have been attached to the Space Marine legions to give them.
Underworlds, the actual good game. I'm told. I mean, people like it.
Elite, but they're not anything like the same level.
People like Underworlds.
They do have pretty.
I don't play it, but
so kind of like carapace level armor. They've got.
I don't know. I haven't heard of it being like really bad or anything.
Some extra kind of special weapons and stuff like that. And vast numbers of them were raised from the solar system, which is like a solar auxilia comes
Did you pull the one ring? No, I don't play the lottery. It's a waste of money.
Were with the traitor legions when they turned. Quite a large proportion of those went traitor alongside their.
And so I don't play the lottery, even if it's not called the lottery, but it's a card game.
It was about a fifth of all the army elements were made up of solar auxilia.
I buy
singles.
singles.
Of them was stationed on various worlds and garrisons and that kind of thing. So obviously when Horus.
Although I saw the dude who pulls it, the person who pulled the One Ring got it graded PSA, which must mean the quality wasn't that great.
Nice miniatures there, level of detail. You got some flamers.
Otherwise, you want BSG, right?
So you got some flame sections.
I think it got a 9.
Getting rid of enemy infantry,
which means more likely to be from a pack. It had a bit of a curl to it, I think.
The Solar Auxilia, just because the concept of
what's PSA? It's a grading company for cards.
We're not even going to give you a gun.
Inferior to BSG generally.
And a pat on the back.
Gives better ratings, and so the ratings are respected a little less.
Asking you to do quite a big
more variants
for just a human with a hatchet.
Unknown if cheaper.
So these guys are like the elite of the elite, so they would often act as sort of bodyguards.
Bizarre you didn't go with
or, as
Beckett.
I
They had
say,
an
shock
insane
troops,
offer. They did. Maybe
particularly
PSA had a
close spaces
equally
or
insane one,
bunkers
just
or
less
ships.
publicity. I don't know.
Having a power axe is a big advantage, but as you said, suddenly you're on this vast battlefield against Space Marines, and it's probably not going to go your way.
Yeah, but there's certainly a place for them, and against other Solar Auxilia, they hold their own very well up close.
Waiting for Post Malone to buy it.
We've got some.
I've heard people
We've got some,
claim they
heavy
were going to pay
Sentinels
$2 million
Solar
for it,
Auxilia.
but I don't know if
these
it was
are,
just clout or not. You know,
forerunners,
marketing.
I suppose, of the Sentinels
I don't
that
know.
you know of in Warhammer 40,000, and these are heavier,
Hey, I hope the person
better armored, better
makes a lot of money and
Sentinels.
changes their life.
They've got multi-lasers.
That would be
and
nice.
Multiple
A
rocket
Willy,
launchers on the
Willy
back
Wonka
there,
kind of thing.
and they give you some fire support basically for your Solar Auxilia troops.
That's it. If you're sort of in an advanced Vanguard formation, an Aethon Heavy Sentinel is probably going to be the only real fire.
Was this like a non-40K preview, and so it's just a shorter preview than normal?
And anti-infantry.
Like it's just missing the 40K part that would usually be there. So instead of an hour preview, it's a 45-minute
They
one.
can certainly put the hurt on enemy infantry. That
Oh,
sort
yes.
of thing. Yeah, very cool.
Man, they're
Classic stuff.
Yes.
Lehman Russ
the,
battle tanks.
the
So
absolute
Lehman Russ
padding
obviously
in the
being part
epic
of,
section.
Warhammer
Holy
40,000
shit.
For a very long time, part of the lore of Warhammer.
This was a 3-minute reveal, and we're
Chance to
stretching it
have
to
some
15.
teeny-weeny ones for
That's
your Legions Imperialis forces. They have loads of different weapon options. You can see a few of them there. You've got Vanquisher, standard battle cannon. You've got las cannon, heavy bolters out the front. You've even got some pintle-mounted stubbers. So loads of really nice little ways to paint these up. You'll notice, if looking at these miniatures, they are Horus Heresy era versions of.
You do a lot
of
for
battle
2 mil,
tanks, so there's
same.
some subtle differences between their, I suppose, contemporary
Poor as
Warhammer
fuck,
40,000
boy.
equivalents. But generally speaking, for the most part, these are the Lehman Russ
same.
battle tanks
Yeah.
you know and love, and you can have whole swathes. Of
Absolutely
them
not.
in
You'd
your
sell it
Solar
immediately.
Auxilia
Yeah,
armies
of
if you wanted
course.
to.
I sure would.
Ooh, the Malkador. So this is sort of the.
If it sells for 4 million in 5 years, I don't care. 2 million is more useful to me right now, you
Eventually,
know.
sort of phased out a fair amount for the.
And it's only the
Legionnaires,
chance of
because
4 later. You already
lighter
won the
and
lottery. Why are you
flexible,
still gambling?
better to use on the battlefield. So these
You beat
often
the
got sort of
house.
relegated to
When you're in a
strategic
casino and you
reserves.
beat the house, you
And obviously,
leave.
As the Heresy wore on,
You
needed
quit
to
while you're
use
ahead.
Everything at your disposal. So they all came out of storage. But they are still a formidable force on the battlefield.
Yeah, again, loads of lovely little details on these as well. So different options for sponsons.
Wouldn't these be super
for
fragile? Not really.
Commanders poking their heads out the
They're
top of the
fairly
building.
compact, and
Really,
they're
really nice
small
little
enough
kits.
that, you know.
And then we've got
Yes.
some Titans.
It's not like they
as
have a
well. So,
huge spear or
Legions
something
Imperialis isn't
to
just
create
about
some
tanks and
leverage.
tanks. You can use.
I'm hot right
miniatures that
now.
have
Keep
from
rolling.
uh,
Yeah, there it
Titan
is.
Legions collection from Adeptus Titanicus.
What would you spend the 2 million on,
Not in this
Heywoah?
box, use some of the
I
Horus
would
Heresy era
do content
versions of
full time.
Aeronautica planes. So if you've got
I would
stuff
no
like
longer
Horus
have to have a
and
day
that sort of
job.
thing, you can put them into your
It gets in
armies
the way of that all the
for
time and stops me from streaming
The
for weeks at a
Warhound
time
Titans
and
that come in the launch box for Legions
stops me
Imperialis
from making
have
YouTube
some new
videos and
weapons that
stuff.
we
I would
haven't
just be a
seen before in
content
plastic.
creator with a
So you have an Ursus
with
Claw
like
there,
a
some,
bankroll, you know,
Melter cannon,
so that I could
missiles, and Volkite. Alex,
live for a
tell us
while
about
doing
some of
that.
those
So,
weapons.
yes, as you said, these are weapons that I believe we've
Pay off
shown
people's
before, but
debts
they've always been in
that I
racing.
know.
So
probably.
this new plastic kit allows you to have Ursus Claws, a Natrix Shock Lance, a Volkite Eradicator. There you can see on the right-hand side.
Make hot
Missile
chocolate with
pods,
milk instead of
small
water.
Shudder missiles, and an incisor pattern melter lance.
That's about
for
it.
when,
That's how my
you know,
life would
Warhound
change.
Titan, a Scout Titan, as scouty as a Titan can be, needs to take
I'd make
out some heavy
content full time.
But
Those
are
milk
not
for
on
hot
the basis
chocolate
we
instead of
really
water.
use.
Yeah, so,
pay off debts
across
of people
the
I know.
whole Legions
Those 3 things, I
Imperialis,
think.
Range of miniatures, you'll notice they have a brand new type of basing. The reason they've got that is basically the models are very
You want
small for
hookers
the most
and
part, so if
booze?
you have a really
That was me in my
big
20s. I got
structure
over it.
model,
Okay.
So you've got nice thin bases, so the infantry doesn't look too out of place. But to make sure that your Titans match, if you want
It was
to,
actually kind of
you
problem.
can base them on brand new
Well, the
Titan
booze, not the
bases,
hookers.
which means that they
were
are
very
at
nice.
the same level as the infantry squads, so they look kind of in keeping with the rest of the army. You can absolutely keep your Titans on the bases they're currently on. If you already have Titanicus army, you can still play with them. Another thing to note about the bases.
Liliar
one thing that's really
Mantalar.
nice about
Hey, thanks a lot.
Imperialis is that it's really well
For the 5 tier
supported.
1s.
Really
I
well
appreciate it.
supported with a terrain
Thanks for
alpha,
putting some
so there's
excitement in
loads
the
of different ways
epic
to
section.
build up
This is
cities,
clearly their
buildings,
magnum opus
create a whole
of the reveal show, and I kind of don't care. So thanks a lot for
your troops
the
to
5
fight
tier
across,
1s. I
and
appreciate
you
it.
can
Hey,
even
join my
build some
Discord or
of the
whatever.
mid-game and do stuff like that. So you can kind of punch a skyscraper
appreciate
and
it.
sort of thing if it's getting in the way of his firing angles. This is the rulebook for Horus Heresy.
Has there been any
Legions
AOS?
Imperialis.
Yeah,
The
Cities of
rulebook will
Sigmar. It
come
was
in the
fucking
box set
awesome.
that we've been showing off. It will also be
But it
available
was just
separately,
one
so
thing.
if you,
That's it.
You'd want to play Legions
Cities of
Imperialis,
Sigmar,
not
it
necessarily
was
want
fucking
forces in the
awesome.
box.
And then like side games and a bunch of
separately,
30k
although
crap.
The nature of Legions Imperialis means that you can mix in loads of different factions. So why would you not? Why would you
Indeed.
not? You could have a little bit of your favourite Space Marine Legion alongside whichever force you decide to go.
And that's it. Chances are, whatever force you are going to go for, you're probably going to want to include some legions or solar auxilia in it, just to kind of round it out. So, the box is a good shout anyway.
Yeah. We will have lots and lots about Legions Imperialis on the Warhammer community website over the
There's
next few
already
weeks.
been lots about it,
is
yeah.
A whole game system that we're going to tell you all about. So in terms of the nuances of the rules and how that works, we'll be able to talk about
They
that.
might have a Hail
There's
Mary.
few questions in the
Copium.
chat that we're going to just quickly be able to address. So there's a few questions there about the scope and scale of it. So this is a Horus Heresy themed game. So it's going to be based on kind of legions and knight households and traitor legions and titans, rather than being Warhammer 40,000 base game. It is.
I think there just
Heresy-focused.
wasn't anything ready to show
We'll
with
see
40k,
lots
and so
and
they're
lots of
like,
stuff
well,
from
let's
parts of
meme on
Horus
it,
Heresy show up
and then
in
we'll
Legions
talk about
Imperialis. So
Epic for
if
20
you have a
minutes instead
favourite
of 2
unit,
minutes.
Chances are
it will probably
Chances
show up
are.
at some point in the not too distant future for this game. It's going to be a very big thing for us.
Keep
over
an
the
eye on
next,
Warhammer community.
few months and years.
yes. And as you've mentioned before, this is epic scale, so the idea is
I don't
you can
think they
recreate
said
some
square
of the
base, even though that
massive
one horse
battles
guy was on a
of
square
Horus
base.
Heresy.
Yeah, absolutely. So like when you read about the Horus Heresy, there are some properly huge
Half true.
battles. So there's things like Istvan and there's the Siege of Terror,
Hundreds of thousands.
Moloch,
Horus
and stuff
Heresy
like that. So
epic.
yeah, absolutely. It's not like 20 Space Marines show up
No.
and have a fight. There are absolute legions. And the way that this game plays, we were talking a bit before this preview started, you're taking off whole chapters of Space Marines in a shooting phase.
Yeah.
So like 2 Warhound Titans march out and you're like, that chapter there is gone, 100 Space Marines just removed in one volley. But it's okay because you brought 10,000 to the fight. So
FUC doesn't exist. That was basically a free square.
that is Legions Imperialis, and that is our preview for today, guys. So thank you ever so much for joining us. Alex, anything you're particularly excited about from the preview today?
Whilst Legions Imperialis is amazing, Talia on
So I
that
was gonna pick the
Manticore is
Lion.
just beautiful.
Okay, well, I'm
Talia.
going to choose. I'm excited about the cruelboys.
Horrible
I'll
Regeneration,
buy
think
some
it's the
of
first
those
time
and
chat
maybe
just
play
dropped
some
in. Did they show the new
So,
Ogre Glutton models, or
obviously,
is
Legions Imperialis
this
is
live
a
stream
huge
just a
deal.
waste of time?
Lots of other exciting things on the way for loads of different
Well,
game systems. So if you're a fan of
kid,
Warhammer Age of Sigmar or the Mortal Realms,
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Horus Heresy
ogres
all the
are
time, and there's more
order models
cool
now.
things on the way.
The only new ogres
So it's a really exciting time
come in
for
Cities of
Warhammer,
Sigmar
even if
nowadays.
You don't play Warhammer 40,000.
Indeed.
Cool. Well,
Also
all that
good
remains
comment.
is for me to say thank you ever so much for tuning in. Everybody who followed along at home, there are
Cool Manticore
over
and a
20,000
cool
of you, so
wizard.
we appreciate your time. Thank you, Alex.
It started
for
strong,
joining.
it dropped
for having
off,
me.
kind of like
Thank
my
you, Raph,
streams.
for making sure all the tech worked, and thank you, Notley, for looking after people in the chat. And a final big thanks for everybody who tuned in, and we will see you again very soon.
Cheers.
You got that last one in there. Cheers. Right before the end. Why show a Bretonnian over a Tomb King? The audacity. Unknown. You know, the Bretonnian is so weird too because it's so close to looking like what the Cities of Sigmar new stuff looks like. Only just worse, you know? Which is kind of weird. I guess we know now what they're doing with it. This will update in a second, I'm sure. So I can leave it up as we chat. But yeah, the old world model is resin and it is Forge World. Whereas the Cities of Sigmar is plastic and it's Games Workshop, and technically they're kind of like two different companies, right? There is that. But it's weird to be simultaneously releasing two nearly identical things, right? Just one is worse. I guess that's what they did with Epic, though, kinda, right? Or that's what they do with 30K. That's the whole point of 30K. Is you have Space Marines that are almost identical to the modern ones, except just look older and are made out of worse stuff. Yeah, maybe it's not weird. Well, okay, I think it is weird. But also that's their business plan, so that's fine, right? It's like, here's brand new Cities of Sigmar stuff. It looks awesome. And it's made out of plastic. And then here's like a worse looking thing with worse proportions. Made out of resin. And it comes on a square base. I don't know. I suppose that's their thing though. It's just weird to be simultaneously releasing so close to being the same stuff. You were excited to see a teaser about the new Harbinger book and boxes for AOS. True Blades, Beast Flares, Nurgle Guys rule. Cool boy monkeys are fun. I don't like the little animals, but I'm not the target audience, so. Ahem. Warhammer community is probably updated. Let's check it out. The preview. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's true. There was no 40K in that preview. That's for sure. Let's get some background music, shall we? All this looks very good, though. I'm disappointed that it's only humans. I was looking forward to elves, dwarves, and everybody, right? Just all the stuff. Ooh, I probably have to turn this down a touch, right? It's probably too loud. But everybody looks so good. Really looking excellent. The Prime spellcasting die. Primal die. From the new GHB. Speaking of the new GHB, went over that a day or two ago. The leaks for it. Actually looks fun. Maybe the first GHB where I saw it and I'm like, this is legitimately a step up from the previous ones. Yeah, these knights are looking super cool. And then the fucking Manticore. Just entombed heads. That's cool. Scorpion tail. All sorts of flags. Should we read about Talia? Talia Vedra, Lioness of the Parch. Doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. Lioness of the Parch. Lioness on the porch. Seriously though, Slaves players be fuming about the Manticore? Well, yes and no. Frank on the Rocks is fuming because he fucking built his own and finished it, and now here we have a new one. All future Slaves to Darkness players forever are probably pretty pleased, because if you want a Chaos Lord on Manticore, if you want a Chaos Sorcerer Lord on Manticore, you buy this kit and replace the person standing there. And they made it a big chair so that you could just put anyone standing on it, right? So it's going to look great in a bunch of Slaves to Darkness armies. You could probably even not use this thing with a bunch of COS iconography on it, and instead perhaps use Chaos stuff. Oh, true. Maybe not. It might not fit on the same base. I rescind my testimony, Your Honor. The copium. Oh, is there new leaks in Giga? Good meme. Alright, good meme. Just do what you did with the hunter? Yeah, I mean, you could do it. We'll make it fit. Just build it up. Yeah, this thing is sick. And I gotta say, with this Cities of Sigmar stuff, they've been... Aside from only being humans, is that my only complaint here? With the new COS stuff? Like, only being humans is a strict... It's like strictly worse than the alternative, right? But after that huge mistake, everything looks great. Ogre mount? Oh, true, there is one ogre, yeah. And that thing is fucking dumb. It's so stupid, right? But that was... Like, they did that on purpose. They're like, we need to put some of that Games Workshop silliness back in here lest they start taking this seriously. And we don't want them to do that. Ever. And so that was like their goal, and they succeeded, so I can't really shit on it too hard, right? Yeah, New Cities stuff is just great. There are 2 dwarf factions and 3 elf factions. It's not like they don't have those races in the game. Right, but the entire point of Cities of Sigmar is the melting pot thing, right? Where all the races had to cast aside their ancient rivalries that they just stole from Lord of the Rings, right? And I thought we were maybe finally moving past that and coming up with something with a glimmer of creativity in it, you know? All the races are like, well, we could all just die, or we could work together. And they finally decided to work together. And so I was hoping they would keep that. Maybe they do. I was hoping they integrated it, but I guess not. You like the Alchemist straight out of Isengard? Oh, or shall we look at the War Scroll? Hold on, let's see if I can bring it up on main screen. Let's go for a walk. We main screen turn on. I have overlapping music for an moment. Alright, we're back. Is this legible? Cities of Sigmar Order. This is one of those things that might be more legible if you move back a little bit. Enhance. I mean, I can enhance, but it's... Sigmar shrugs. Human order, Duardan order, human order. Elf older. Elf older. Actual dwarven runes. That's basically Phyrexian. Alright, here's another one for us enhancing. Any enhancers? Advance in formation. That's what this clearly says. Looks like not squatting Elfin Order units. Or Elfin Dwarf units. No, I was just hoping they'd get integrated with their sculpts within the units, but I guess that's not the case. You can reveal this order at the start of your something phase, movement phase probably. If you do, until the end of turn, add 3 to the move characteristic of friendly Sigmar units that start a move within 3 of this hero. In addition, at the end of the phase, friendly cast life, something, text, with the fortified protector ability can establish fortified positions. It's kind of hard to read. Are you guys reading this along with me? Can you see this? I'm trying. This is like old guy puts on his glasses and reads. Can establish a fortified position even if they made a move in that phase. If they're within 3 of the hero of this order, okay. So it look like I know what a JPEG is. I'm trying. Yeah, it's like those 3D image books. You gotta relax your eyes. Anyway, it looks like fortified position is a thing. It was on Ogre's War Scroll, right? It was on Ogre War Scroll thing. Guild Marshal. What's this? I don't think I can read this one. Dude has 2 rend, 3 damage hammer. I'm looking at it. Yeah. This number here, probably a 3. 3 attacks, 4s and 3s, negative 2, 3, maybe. Could be 2. That's a 2, says Extra Demon. Okay, fair enough. I wonder what this heroic action is. Just a blank war scroll. Pick up to 3 friendly cities of Sigmar. Human units. Damn. I'm pretty sure that says human units. Damn, I hope it doesn't. I was looking forward to being able to do whatever, but I think we're still playing bingo in cities. Wholly within 16, maybe 18. Less than or equal to some bravery characteristic. Ew. Till the end of something. I think it's something about objectives. I believe it counts as 2 models for objectives. Each one counts as 2. I think that's what it reads. So heroic action, make a bravery check. So you're paying a cost and then it's random. And then you count for 2 models on objectives. Okay. So we can safely say, with no hesitation, that Free Guild Marshal is trash. He is trash. Good to know. And then unsure what these others do. Anyone got NVIDIA card in chat? DLSS needed? Yeah. I do have one. I have an NVIDIA card. It's capable of DLSS. I usually don't have it on. I usually turn it off for games. You got a 3090, but NVIDIA sent you a message saying you need a 4090 to unlock the War Scroll Upscaler. Oh, it uses AI. It uses AI to upscale War Scroll cards and promotional pictures. This preview was lackluster other than the Manticore. To me, yeah. Basically, it's There was an awesome Manticore, some like warband crap, and then 30k epic. Meh. And the Cube Dude. Cube Dude was cool. I like the Cube Dude. I like him. He was actually cool. Oh, Cube Dude's alright. That guy. Where's the Cube Dude? There he is. Cube Dude. You like the Skaven for Underworlds too? They had good sculpts. Mr. Bucket. Is that what we're calling him? Mr. Bucket. Oh, and then he's got a D6 chilling in there, just cooling it off. It's got the male symbol. I don't know if that's intentional, but it's right there. Imagine being Mr. Bucket, the Cube Dude, rolling around with a liquid metal, just red hot cauldron with the fucking male symbol on it. It's the metal symbol. Cruelboys are not yet on Warhammer community. Graphic designer needs to fix the logo. Yeah, we did notice that, didn't we? Here they are. Yeah, alright. Warcry. Did they fix it in the video, though? Warcry. I bet that slide isn't here. The monster killers. Egg boy. That was just a slide for their live show, right? Yeah. Food for dudes only. These monkeys are cool as like bits to put on other stuff. Like good sculpts, right? This guy is laden with trophies. Monkey. May I offer you an egg in these trying times? Yeah, he's trying to do it. And then just dudes with 1 hit point and no armor. A hoary trophy-laden beast knob? That whole sentence, though. God damn, that is one hoary trophy-laden beast knob if I've ever seen one. Holy shit. Jesus. Use monkeys as yetis? I don't like monkeys. Some people like monkeys. I don't like monkeys. Some people like birds. I don't like birds, you know? It's just... This is just my... everybody finds monkeys funny. I think it's just my my weirdness. I think I'm the weird one. I don't like monkeys. Really long number. Thanks for the $2.50. I'm pretty sure that's Hades. Because consistently speaking, he's unable to put his like username in there for some reason. Maybe it's a mobile thing, I don't know. Thanks for the $2. I appreciate it. I'm gonna find and see if you have a message with your donation. One moment. Money speaks louder than mods. I hope COS stays mixed race. But the order stuff could simply mean they are going to be leaning heavily into coalition soup. Yeah, time will tell. We'll have to figure it out. Heywoah's picky. I am. Yeah. And I say this up front, I'm picky with my monster designs, I'm picky with my mech designs. I'm picky with monkeys and birds, apparently. Umbrick, thanks for the tier 1. Landed on Tech Priest Vox. Discerning. Oh, okay. Discerning, huh? All right. It is the yeah. So let me clarify something. I was hoping that the units it'd come with 10 guys, and there's like some dwarves in there, some elves in there, right? That's what I was hoping for, but it was like they probably wouldn't do that. But that was the hopium. It's still, your army is going to be like elves and dwarves and humans and stuff, most certainly, because we saw it on that thing. We saw it on the preview cards. They have abilities. But then again, I think skeletons should be the same way for like undead. You know? I feel like skeletons and zombies and stuff, there should be like little dwarven skeletons and elf skeletons where they got pointed ears or whatever. I feel like the undead of your world should reflect the living races of the world in the percentages that they tend to die and get resurrected. You know? Some orc skeletons, right? Mega Gargant skeleton. Even ogre skeletons. Big bones. You never considered the ears are bone? I mean, it's cartilage probably, right? But I think you would do it for a stylistic purpose, you know? Thanks to the follow, Lock Rip. Appreciate it. There used to be other race skeletons in Warhammer Fantasy long time ago. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be nice to bring it back. Yeah, some zombies still have ears. True. Quite true. Oh yeah, some skaven. Little skaven skeletons. Let's check these guys out for a sec. The skaven are getting a little more human-like the longer this goes on. Also, Magic Wand Tool missed out on that. You know, sometimes that happens when I'm making a video. I'm trying to cut out a model and put it over the video when I'm talking about it. They have this gradient, they have this fade in the background that they add, and sometimes it doesn't Magic Wand very nicely, and I have to go in there and like and chop it up on purpose. Although nowadays, now that Photoshop uses AI, we can just select subject and remove background, and it's actually pretty good at it. It usually just almost immediately works, and there's little touch-up you have to do, which saves a huge amount of time, which is awesome. Great new feature in Photoshop. And it's the type of AI that isn't stealing artists' shit to craft stuff out of. It's like the useful type of AI, which does something that isn't really artistic, it just does something that's really time-consuming for me. Which is great. Anyway. It's like the only good thing Adobe has done in the last 50 years. Vince EV will be very upset about the sculpted smoke. Yeah, is that how, like, good painters are? I like stuff like this. But I think I like it because I'm not good at painting. And I'm like a pathetic casual when it comes to painting. The better at painting you get, the more you hate like smoke and fake fire and the like blood drops that are super thick and everything like that. You want to add that yourself somehow. Anyway, that's my assumption. Vince doesn't want to paint spicy air. Just big kloogs, just clouds of it. You're really hoping for more Skaven? Same, yeah. I mean, look, eventually they're going to have to do the Seraphon thing with Skaven. Skaven have older, shittier models in more quantity than even Seraphon had. Although that's not, like, how they choose who gets updates or not, right? But still, it's only a matter of time. Skaven are, like, the worst model range as it pertains to having the oldest stuff. So, look, it wasn't this time, but it's gotta be. We have to be due, right? question for you, COS, is they said the new book will have 54, and currently there is low 60s, and there are clearly some new War Scrolls, so what is getting cut? Or hopefully things just get merged? Probably all the humans get cut, because they're the things being replaced. That's my guess. My guess is the humans just get cut because they're getting straight replaced and upgraded. And that probably accounts for the difference. There may be a model here or there that gets caught in the crossfire, but that would be my guess. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're a so pro painter. Yeah, I mean, I don't spend a lot of time painting. And I don't practice a lot. And so this is what I get. Like, it's fine. If I wanted to be better, I would spend more time trying to be better, right? I just don't. So this is how good I am. I think some people would do better and maybe chill out a little bit if they felt that way or came to that understanding about stuff like, you know, not just painting, but like being good at the game or really a lot of stuff in life. You can turn these guys into plague priests. Yeah, half of these guys would make great plague priests. This is basically a plague priest as it currently exists. But then you got flamboyant ones you can play with too. As with all warbands, there's sort of no reason not to pick it up just for coolness sake. And using as a counts as model, even if you're not playing the warband. And maybe the warband's good, who knows. Some of them are starting to get good nowadays. What's up with skaven eyes? They have like diseased black eyes because they're pestilence. So it's like they're doing the gross kind of Nurgle thing a little bit. I think it's gross, but it's supposed to be gross. So I suppose they succeeded at their goal. The only thing you prefer is base agnostic models, not always coming part and parcel with detritus or tactical rocks that imply the subject setting if you wanted to do that yourself. Yeah. On that note, we can agree, because even though I'm like not the greatest painter, I do like conversions and I convert a lot. And I'm usually annoyed when it's standing on some rock and now I gotta try to clip the guy's foot off. In a way that doesn't damage it because I'm going to put it on something else. So there is, yeah, I think there is a little bit of that. I think we can agree there. Lothiar Mantalore. You think I'm going to get a friend to break down the Broken Realms lore for you or find a lore video? You think you miss some things or their context? You've read some recent novels like Hollow King, but you need to make sure you're caught up on some bigger picture stuff. Made Pandora says the 2+ Tough has a full breakdown. Yeah, he does lore. He does AOS lore. Almost nobody does AOS lore, I've found. But he's one of the ones who does it. I don't know if he's... supposedly he's done Broken Realms stuff each book. Made Pandora says. You don't mind the rocks, you mind the enemy corpses or city debris. Not even GW does AOS lore. Hey. First of all, good meme. But second of all, I keep thinking of Soulbound and all the good lore they put in. Maybe that doesn't count as GW. They write books. And they do Broken Realms. Those are big campaign narrative things. Those are cool. AOS lore isn't very appealing to you? I read some cool AOS lore. I've also seen some not great AOS lore. Obviously, it runs the gamut. Every game is like that. In general, I think the earliest lore is the worst. And the most recent tends to be much better, which makes sense. It's kind of like that for every game. Are you interested in short lore videos? I am not. I recently found a lore channel for AOS. It's called Thunder God Khan. Alright. I hope they're good. Oh, by the way, Ariath Angela. Thanks for the first time chat. Appreciate it. What a cool hey, nice reveal show, kinda. AOS lore has been steadily getting more interesting for as long as you've been aware of it, but it is happening slowly, perhaps too slowly for a lot of people, yeah. And like the first thing somebody hears about something is gonna stick with them forever, right? And you rarely retread ground you've walked, which means like the basic first thing ever lore, like the foundational lore, is usually not gonna change very much. And so we're kind of stuck with that forever, right? Which is a downside. So anyway, I do what everybody does for everything. Whether it be video game lore, Warhammer lore, or the Bible. You just take the good parts out. You like those and you ignore the other stuff. You sweep it under the rug, right? It's fun to see all the lore develop from very little in basically real time. I mean, it's kind of like we're living in 1981. You are watching 40k lore being created on the fly out of nowhere at a very early stage, except it's just a different game, right? In 2055, people will be like, how dare they change, how dare they retcon Sigmar throwing his hammer like an idiot through the portal in his duel with Archaon. How dare you change that? Meanwhile, people who were alive and following the game when they came out with that lore, yo, that's kind of stupid. I don't like that. 30 years later, how dare you, sir? Major Brimstone 1. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. After watching some interviews with AOS authors, they're getting a lot of leeway. Now that would be a video I'm interested in watching. AOS interview for their like lore writers and stuff. I would watch that. I'd be kind of interested in that. In 2055, Warhammer 20k will be the new GW game, probably. 20k epic. It's 20k giga epic. Now with 4 micron models. You can't even see anything. It just looks like kind of a sand or a texture on the base, but if you look at it with an electron microscope, it's actually 600,000 Space Marines on a 25 mil base. Warhammer Underworlds epic, the Unification Wars. The warband makes you upset because you love Pestilence so much and these guys have such flavor. But then the base models are outdated to have. Yep, that's the problem. It's a shame to look a gift horse in the mouth, right? But it would be cool if those guys in like the main game were cool. Instead of looking really old, right? But, you know, it happened to Seraphon, it happened to Slaves to Darkness. It doesn't happen as fast as we want it to. But they do eventually come out with huge, sweeping line updates. It just takes them a while, that's all. I'm just happy that they're doing it. Swood Madden. Broken Realms are great, but lore moves on. Lore moves so slow. 9th Ed 40k had narrative Crusade books right from the start, and we're getting them pretty much at the end of the edition. You can no longer say that this universe is still new and developing. It's simply not true. I don't know, I wonder. I think it is. What were the 4... We've essentially had 3 big narrative pushes. We have 1 per edition, right? The first one was the Realm Gate Wars. That really shook up the whole story. And the second one was Malign Portents, where Nagash blew up Shyish and invented the concept of endless spells, which changed the game as well, and the world. And the third one was Marathi succeeding and becoming a god, which was also a huge shit. I think these things are impactful and they matter. I don't know. To me, it seems like these are big things. I don't know what the fourth one is because it hasn't come out yet. This has to be bait. I mean, even if it is, it's a decent conversational springboard, right? The one that changed the game the most was obviously Necroquake, the Malign Portents. Because it changed how everyone built their army. It added endless spells. It added 1 million artifacts and realm spell lores and all this other stuff. Like, that probably changed the way people played the game the most. Broken Realms, Marathi, Lumineth 1 didn't, like, hugely impact the game. I mean, it did, but not nearly as sweepingly. Yeah, Broken Realms technically did release Kragnos. Incarnates. To some people's chagrin, including mine. Oh, speaking of Incarnates, actually speaking of Kragnos, there's a 3,000 point tournament coming up that I might just leave the house. I might get out of the log cabin wizard tower. I gotta make a 3,000 point army in Beastclaw Raiders for this thing. Andrew Yells has a Kragnos I can borrow, because mine's not finished. And so I gotta build a list. I gotta make a list out of stuff I own right now, basically. Should we just build that right now? And I can't stream too much longer because it's like way early in the morning. I got some work to do, and then tonight we have gaming. Like tonight there's, you know, weekend gaming stream, but I gotta work in between. But what if I just real quick, in case I can leave the house, which is still a maybe, but it's like a 60%. I believe it's using the new GHB. It may or may not be. I wonder if it is. If it is, I'm using the sorcery one. $3,000 points of girth. I mean, there will be. List building stream. Marathi didn't add much to the game. We already had the correct Damimami, Her Royal Thyness. I mean, Marathi was in the game already, right? In a sense. By the way, the original teasers we got for Cities of Sigmar showed a few things we haven't seen in the current line yet. Made Pandora. Which ones? I'm trying to think about it. Do I want to play with Mournfang? No, they are bad. So I think we just fill out the battle line with monsters as per usual. as per the usual. Blood Vulture, of course. No question. This is like the bare minimum, I think, for a BCR army. But a reg, of course.
I'm not a tournament player, but I am what I call a so-so pro.
Oh, Horrible Regeneration. Thanks for the $2. I appreciate the donation. Is that alert a little loud? I think it might be a touch loud. Where's the ambience music from? Bunch of Metroid Prime, a bunch of Metal Gear Solid, some Deus Ex, some Pat Labor, System Shock 2, Blade Runner. Just like mech game kind of dreary future sci kind of music. Hey, Pat Labor, my man. I didn't probably pronounce it right, but good taste. So this is like the basic. This is like the basic army. 2,100 points. The army that I have been using forever is this. It's a 2-man Mournfang. 1960 points. It's a 2-man Mournfang. 2 Stonehorn Beast Riders. Kragnos Frostlord. Ship it, right? But we're at 3,000 points, so we get to ignore that shit and get that Mournfang crap out of here, right? Because they suck. If I'm playing against what are all these timeouts? Mods are memeing 75,000 seconds. Changed to 600, removed it. All right, you guys do whatever you want. I don't think I want a Thunder Tusk. Someone clicked too hard and their mouse got stuck. That's probably true. So I have 900 points to add to this army. Do I just put like... I don't know. I feel like in a sense maybe I just become the meme, right? And just put Stonehorns in here until it's 3,000 points. How many do I have in real life? Hold on. Let's take stock of what I own in real life. I have an unfinished Kragnos. How many Frostlords on Stonehorn do I have? 3? Technically. Yeah. Wait. 5. Okay. Technically, I have 5 Frostlords on Stonehorn. They could be Huskguards. It kind of depends. I could just take a spear off of them. So I have 5 Frostlords. 2 Huskguards on Thundertusk or Frostlords on Thundertusk. I have 4 Stonehorn Beast Riders. 3 that look like the rest of them and 1 that looks different. 2 of them could be Thundertusk. I have alternative heads for them. But Thundertusks are bad, so probably not. I don't know how many troops I can fit in a battle regiment. I can't even remember. I'll worry about that later, I guess. $24.10. You can have 5 troops. Alright, I only own 4 Stonehorn Beast Riders, though. Otherwise, I would just keep adding them probably until we're full. Like at least 5, right? 27, 20, and then like foot heroes maybe. Like a wizard. My problem is I don't actually have 5 Beast Riders. I only have 4. So I think I just have to like add drops to this army and make it worse simply because I'm running out of things that I own. Unless I want to play with Mournfang, even though they're bad, just to stay low on drops, which is important. At 3k, it's less important. Jupes, thanks for the tier 2. Good tier. Big. Thanks for the 19 months. Hey, neat. Yeah. Thanks for the tier 2. It's a big tier. Oh, you're going to a friend's house, Lily R? Nice. Technically, I own a bunch of Mournfang as well. I could do this. Because 4 Mournfang are like a Stonehorn Beast Rider, except more expensive and worse. Right? So I could do that if need be. 2750. I think I have like 10 of them or something. I think I have 10 of them and then 4 of them are unassembled. Something around there. 6 Mournfang. 510 points. 2920. Is this the list? What a meme. Kragnos, Frostlord, a unit of 6 Mournfang, and 4 Stonehorn Beast Riders. Am I totally against any Gutbusters? Yes, but only because I don't own them and the tournament's in like 2 weeks. And I just don't have time to build or paint anything moving up to it. So I gotta work with what I own. I don't have like a 3k army ready to go necessarily. You have the Hunter? Yeah, I do have the Hunter. Gargan Hackers? Nah, they're just worse by a lot. Functionally about the same damage for most armor values, and the actual use of Mournfang is that they can kick back some mortals while absorbing a decent number of wounds worth of damage. Like, they will just die to any hammer, but they can at least kick back some mortals. And so you use them as very, very, very expensive chaff for the most part. Sometimes on the charge, if you get lucky against shit with bad armor, they can do okay damage, but for the most part, they're just like an expensive bad unit. Even Iron Blaster. I think I have one Iron Blaster that's still on a sprue from like some Lord of Bones OBR half thing. But it's like unassembled. So it doesn't really count. A lot of these suggestions are good suggestions. I just don't have them fully painted and ready to go. And already owned, you know what I mean? I could like load up on heroes and not care about drops as well if I really wanted to. Right? Like I could just throw a Thundertusk in there because I own one and it looks cool and I have a cool conversion for him. And technically I could be using a mount trait like Rhymefrost Hide, which is useful, so it's somewhat of a little bit of a... It's almost like a anvil, I guess. I don't know, I still think it's probably not worth it. Just add Frost Lords. The problem with that Sunshine and Black is with the new book, they essentially killed spamming Frost Lords. Because there's only one good mount trait in the book. And so it doesn't behoove you to load up on them. Because after the first one, they don't get a cool mount trait. And getting the mount trait is very important. I guess I just do it anyway. I could just blast it anyway. And he'll just have a bad mount trait, and that's just all there was to it. Metal Cruncher might do something at 3k. Yeah, maybe. People are going to run a bunch of monsters and shit, right? Yeah, maybe we'll just do it. Sure, Metal Cruncher sucks, but at 3k, there's bound to be something with a 3-up save, right? We'll just send this guy after that. And you get Rockmane Elder. And you get... What do you get? Touched by the Everwinter, I suppose. So you're a priest. We'll take heal. And then you get Arcane Tome. So we have a wizard, we have a priest. Can't choose a spell. Choosing a spell is banned. There's gonna be Bastiladons. Don't you have almost guarantee 3-up save on an opponent? As everyone will be bringing a god model. At 3k, you know, I bet that's true. At 2k, it's not true. At 2k, I generally go through an entire 5-round tournament without ever activating Metal Cruncher. Maybe once. Like, it's kind of sucks. But at 3k, I bet people are just taking their 2k army and throwing in a god model and kind of calling it a day. I think you're right. $3,000 points, 7 models. I have enough room for a butcher, right? A butcher. It says I don't have any battle line, but I do. These are battle line. How much is a butcher nowadays? Hey, 140. Is that exactly 3k? Yo, let's do it. Exactly 3k. Give him the Ren 2 Tenderizer. Technically part of the battalion too. It doesn't even hurt the drops because he's a foot hero, right? Metal Cruncher is double rough because you mostly get to use it on Slaves to Darkness, but then they have Mortal Wards. Yeah, they got the Rune Ward. A lot of the crazy centerpiece stuff that has a 3-up base armor has a ward anyway, so it makes it kind of worse. Man, Metal Cruncher used to be so good. Molten Entrails. I don't know, maybe Greasy D. I'm thinking Molten Entrails. Levitate is maybe an option. Levitate's hard to cast, though. Giving Kragnos flying is actually huge, so that he can maneuver around and above terrain. That's actually really important. But if I'm not buffing my guys, it's kind of like, why am I taking a wizard, right? Primal dice? Molten Entrails isn't actually that great of a buff. Like, Molten Entrails increases your damage ceiling by a huge amount, but the problem is rolling horns and only ever hitting with 2 of them. Maybe I go for big plays. Does Kragnos ignore friendly spells? No. It's a May. Not getting a lot out of this guy. I'm not paying a lot, because he doesn't cost a drop. 5 damage horns are fun. It used to be 6 damage horns before they nerfed Arcane Tome, because you go Flaming Weapon. So it's 3, it's 4 on the charge, 5 for Flaming Weapon, 6 for Molten Entrails. 6 damage horns? Jesus. But fun was destroyed, so no longer. Yeah, we driving. Maybe I want like one deep strike actually. So think about this. I get a... Technically, if I really need it, this is a third unbind. I'm able to cast Levitate to sometimes unlock a cool play, but maybe I just want a deep strike. Like, those victory points are going to be more important. Like at 3k, I just want to be able to land somewhere and get a VP or get a bottleneck a place out. Maybe I actually want a hunter. And I might get a triumph, possibly. Maybe we go this. Are they increasing the map size for 3k? Yeah. Well, okay. I don't know for sure. But they better be. Look, if it's still a small table, it's going to be a brutal game. It is going to be a bloodbath, right? If it's still smaller table size and then people are 6,000 points of guys are fighting in the middle, Jesus. I actually don't care one way or the other. 3k games are just fun enough that you just show up and smash crap, and that's like entertaining. Yeah, I think the hunter's better here. Depending on what battle plan it is, just like landing somewhere is probably better than levitate. All the order folk show up with Gotrek. That's a problem, because Gotrek destroys me. Gotrek is really good against me. There almost isn't an army in the game that Gotrek more thoroughly is invincible against. I can't kill him. It's impossible. I actually cannot kill him. The whole point of my army is a small number of attacks with a huge amount of damage. And he converts all that to 1. So he just doesn't take any damage from me, and he'll kill a Frostlord every turn. Yeah, maybe SOB, I guess. Don't I have the speed to play around him? Not on tables this small. Not on battle plans like this. In the past, I had the speed to play around him, but not in 3rd edition, really. With these battle plans and this table size and stuff. Jaws him. I could rearrange some points to try to find Jaws, but I don't own any. Wait, Jaws doesn't slow. Why would I want Jaws? Did you mean Shackles? With what wizard? I have 1 wizard, technically. Kinda. I think this is it. I think we're 2980. Kragnose, Frostlord, Icebrow. Stonehorn, 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 Stonehorn. So 7 big guys and 1 not big guy. Jaws does mortals equal to the difference to a 2d6 roll in his movement. Yeah, but then it gets converted to 1. Why Icebrow and not Bloodpelt? Because he has a deep strike. And I value a deep strike in an army this 1 note, and everything's the same. Being able to place him next to some terrain somewhere, or threaten landing on an objective, or do whatever, you know? Just give him Tunnel Master. I don't know what GHB we'll be using. if we're using the current GHB, then it's going to be Blood Pelt Hunter with Tunnel Master for sure, because that's just better. Because Icebrow Hunter is crap. He is poop. He is so bad, right? He's a deep strike, and everything else on his war scroll is trash. If we're using new one, then I'll use Icebrow Hunter. Even trying to find a 2K list that uses double Frostlord, 1 priest, 1 tome. Haven't landed on anything you like with it. Same. What you have to do is you have to give up on number of threats. Like, you're going to be playing with 1 fewer big. You're going to be playing with 1 fewer monster. And Icebrow Hunter probably has to be your general. But I don't necessarily like how those lists shake out. I want another point center. At 2K anyway. Like, you have 3 monsters that capitalize on Kragnos at 2K. I don't want to drop it down to 2. Will we see the return of Hrothgorn? No. He was cool because he exactly qualified for a battle tactic. He put 2 guys elsewhere. Like, he had Deep Strike and he was technically 2 units. As soon as that battle tactic went away, he was fired. He lost his job. He's on the street. He's under the Queensboro Bridge. Next to the fucking Waffle House. He was 3 units. Oh yeah, technically he was 3 units because it summons the dog. Oh, you haven't been using Kragnos. Never mind. Okay. I thought you were trying to fit Kragnos and double Frostlord. I misunderstood you, BTME. Hrothgorn comes with the Goon Squad. Yeah, but all those guys are useless. They're cool because they are a separate unit, so they qualified for the battle tactic, but after that thing went away, he has no point. He's unique, so you can't give him anything. Not that there would anyway, I guess. Everything on his war scroll is worthless except for the deep strike, just like Icebrow Hunter, and he's more expensive, so. And I don't like the look of him. He's like the one warband sculpt that totally missed for me. He looks like a big hobbit. He looks like a really large halfling from a fairy tale novel with a huge troll nose and stuff. He doesn't look like an ogre. And his little snotling friends are stupid. Yeah, I don't like the cut of his jib. Almost always the warbands, their sculpts are like so good. And the ogre one is not good. And the pirates are dumb, but then again, I'm not a Gutbuster player anyway. I'm gonna pretend that we're using current GHB. So we use a Blood Pelt Hunter with Tunnel Master, because that's just better. Yeah. Pirate isn't a Gutbuster. True, technically it's a Man-Eater. This is my Beastclaw chauvinism showing through. Sorry. Ogre not on a mount. Y'all look the same to me. No mount having... no mount having ass, not even mounted. On foot, walking. Mountless. Alright, we're 3k exactly. Kragnos, Double Frosty, Blood Pelt Tunnel Master, 4 Stonehorn Beast Riders, Battle Regiment, 3 drops. Ship it. Yep, this is it. And I own everything. I'll be borrowing the Kragnos, everything else I own. The Blood Pelt Hunter is going to look cool because I have one of those. This is it. 7 big guys. And then a cool dude. Does it count as a mount if it's an Iron Blaster? Yes. Iron Blaster officially counts as a mounted dude. He's riding a thing. It's a huge cannon. It's pulled by something that is like a Mournfang, only way dumber. I can't remember what they're called. It's some old fantasy battle. Inbred looking chromosome missing version of a Mournfang. What's the thing called? Rhinox, that's it, yeah. But it's still, I would consider it a mount. It counts. Iron Blasters are cool enough. Alright, there we go. Ship it. 3,000 point army. Done. Chat, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Join the Discord if you feel like it. Tonight will be video games and probably talking about AOS the whole time. Show up if you give a shit. We're gonna be raiding someone, so stick around for another minute or something. I'll find somebody to raid. Be nice. Anyway, thanks for watching.